In this video, I'll be showing you how to apply your MotoRadds FLEX Slim chin mount. To begin, these are the items you should receive with your FLEX Slim. There's one extension joint, one thumb screw, an alcohol prep pad, and your FLEX Slim. The camera is not included. First, take the alcohol prep pad and wipe down the surface area. Let it completely dry. Once that is dried, you'll shape your mount. With the adhesive lining still on, you can give it a quick initial shaping to the helmet chin, but because the mount center is cold rolled steel, it'll want to spring back a bit to its original shape. So I'm going to show you how to prevent this, because if you don't do it correctly, it will peel up at the tips and you won't be happy with the install. The way you prevent the mount from springing back up is by forming it as closely to shape as possible, and it's especially important to bend the tips slightly inward towards the helmet surface. If you leave the tips flat, the tension built from forming the mount will cause them to spring up and off the surface once applied. By forming them inward to the curvature of the helmet, you can keep them sticking firmly against the helmet surface. So I'm going to try and match the helmet shape pretty well before applying this. And I'd say this shape is a pretty good match now. You can peel the adhesive liner from your flex mount and you're ready to apply the mount. This can be a bit tricky because you've bent the mount to shape already. The goal is to place the center on first without letting the tips stick. As you can see, the tips are sticking before I can place the center down. So I'm just pulling the arms out slightly so I can get the center on there first and then work my way outward towards the tips. Now none of those tips are touching, but the center is placed. With that center part on, you want to give it a firm press, just on the center plastic piece to make sure it's on there securely. Once that's on, you can start pushing firmly down the center and working your way outward. Once you've applied it, you may notice small gaps along the tape edge top and bottom. This won't affect your mount strength, but if you'd like to try and close these, simply give pressure on the triangle face opposite the side of the gaps and push that edge against the helmet surface. You can do that for both sides where you see any gaps along the edge. That's it! You've now got the strongest chin mount and it's on there firmly and securely. With the mount applied, let me show you how to angle your camera. You'll use the included extension joint and thumb screw. You'll need 2 thumb screws. We only provide 1 thumb screw because your camera should already come with one. Pay attention to how you position the extension joints. If you put them both with the hex cap nuts on the same side, then you'll have the handles on the same side and it looks a bit bulky. I usually recommend having 1 thumb screw on one side and one on the other. If you want it to look even sleeker, you can get the low-profile screw kit on our website. Most people when mounting think that the camera should be straight up and down. That is not the case. When you ride, your chin is pointing downwards, so you actually want this pointing up at the sky. Keeping both thumb screws loose, you can set your angle and then tighten them down. So from the side, it will look like this for the best POV. As you can see, this camera is on there extremely securely. Your FLEX Slim is set up and ready to go. Get out there, have fun, and ride safe.